Capricorn in 2020, 2-2, the constellation of Ele, Saturn, ELE, which is 5 plus 12 plus 5 equals 22, which is 2-2. 2020 is 2-2 in the rules of numerology. Capricorn is the god of time and earth. Capricorn is a constellation of the earth ruled by Saturn. Thus, Capricorn is Saturn. Around this period, the masses were being taught about a virus known as coronavirus, COVID-19, in the constellation of Capricorn. They were calling it the global pandemic. The global pandemic. See, there's the word pan is in pandemic. Likewise, there's pan in panic. Pan is also a Greek goat god associated with Capricorn, the constellation of Capricorn. Likewise, the UGO god Ele. The UGO god Ele is also associated with Capricorn. As a matter of fact, the Igbo word for antelope is Ele. And antelopes are in the family of Capricorn. And around this time, the masses were being taught about a virus known as coronavirus, COVID-19. And they were calling it a global pandemic based on public relations. A global pandemic. And then there's the word pan in there. And pan is also associated with Capricorn. From talking about the global pandemic, we went into the constellation of Aquarius, which is the water bearer, and also the constellation of Pisces. So they went from talking about a global pandemic to talking about the water, washing hands. Yep, everyone should wash their hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands, cover your face, wash your hands, wash your hands. So the washing of hands is linked to water, which is linked to the constellation of Aquarius and Pisces. So the public relations went from talking about washing hands to martial law. We went from washing hands, everyone wash your hands, which is in the constellation of Pisces, to martial law, which is the constellation of Mars, which is Aries. The world started experiencing martial law. Martial law, which is the quarantine project that they started. So it has been a massive mind control based on the tool the magicians always use, which is astrology and astrotheology. You know, from the constellation of Capricorn, they talk about global pandemic based on a virus associated with Saturn. Then from Saturn, we moved on to washing hands, water, Pisces, Aquarius. Then for Pisces, we went into martial law, which is March, Mars. It's all a big, massive mind control, insulting the intelligence of the masses. Before we dive into this manifestation, Kanye Kanaka, Kanoria, Kanafo, Kanankwo, Kanandi Okbunandi Agada, Kanandi Chie, Kanaibo, Kanogaka, Kanogachi,
Kena Ogazi. Kena Ogaun. Yagazie. N'afọ ise.
The true name of the true God is known in Igbo as Ele. This God is the God of the First World Age, known as Ogaka. Ogaka is the First World Age. Aka means primordial in Afa, a time when gods walked the earth, the same gods that watched the earth form from the moon. During this time, there was no death. Every living species lived eternally on earth. There was no fighting, no war. There was only oneness. This was the true African Golden Age. This was a time when humans were governed by gods and goddesses, rather than humans, and humans were immortals at this time. Ogaka lasted more than 1 million years. This was a time when humans were given offer by Chukwu Olisa. There were no poor nor rich. There was no need to labor, because all that men required was obtained by the power of Akofu, whom is Chukwu Olisa. The manifestations of the Kush, Kemet, Aru, Hebrew Eden, Greek Elysion, Hindu Satya, and the Sumerian Atlantis are all various embodiments of Ogaka, the primordial age in Igbo cosmology. The second age that our planet experienced is Ogachi. This age brought the manifestations of self-realization and duality. Death came into the world in this age. This age also gave birth to various spiritual practices around the world. In Ogachi, the world was still in perfect balance with nature. The power of humans slightly reduced, but humans were still very intelligent. Igbo people called themselves Omoato, offsprings of the creative bull during this time. The third age that our planet experienced is Ogazi. This is the Iron Age, the age of the spirit of Igwekala, the spirit of Igwekala. The sky is greater than the earth. Iron is superior to the belief in the Earth Mother, Igwekala. This age gave Africa slavery and colonization. Afro people suffered daily in this age. False prophets, false spirituality, wickedness, wars, dishonesty, idiocy. These are all from Ogazi. These are all from Ogazi. This age was ruled by those who came from Mars, the capitalist criminals. They single-handedly destroyed the earth and her children. The fourth age is Ogaun. Since 2011, the world has been shifting towards this age as the capitalist criminals are still in power. They are fully aware that Ogaun is the age when all that was hidden will face the judgment of light. They know that their time is up, but they wouldn't like to leave without a massive chaos. They will not leave without leaving a memorable trademark that is as memorable as slavery and colonization. Ugazi, the Age of Ignorance, approximately kicked off when ancient Kush and Kemet was being invaded by various groups. We got invaded by the Greeks, the Hyksos, the Romans, and many other small groups. When Kush Kemet lost its power, Africa became weakened. All the destroyed civilizations in the Bible were the civilizations of Afro people, the Canaanites, the Chaldeans, the Babylonians, the Cushites, and the Egyptians. When Africa became weakened, the Greco-Romans took the information that they stole from all these Afro civilizations and created the dream world, a world of lies and deceits. That is the dream world, the computer-generated dream world, a world of lies and deceits. They plagiarized our glory and turned them into their glory, then used our glory against us, and they wrote mind control books to maintain this lie. Number mysticism such as gematria, which is geometry, as in geo means earth and metry, matria, means measurement. Number mysticisms originated from West Africans, whom were known as the Babylonians, the Chaldeans, the Cushites, the Canaanites, and the Kemites. Number mysticism originated from these people. Patterns equals numbers equals math equals truth. Numbers are nous, practical intelligence, common sense, while words and letters are logos, sound logos. Logos contain hidden meanings that you can only find through practical intelligence, which are numbers. English is a lie-coded language that agitates and harms the XX and the XY chromosomes, because you have to coin a word before it can be pronounced. All English words, you have to coin the word before it can be pronounced. It has to be written down before it can be pronounced. English owes a huge debt to Shakespeare for creating over 1700 English words. African dialects are of nature sounds. Majority of the time, we name things based on the tonal of what something does. Agwo bụ agwo maka na agwo na-agwọkọ agwọkọ. Atụ bụ atụ maka na atụ bụ ife anyị na-atụta atụta. Intelligence is not in the mind. Intelligence is gained. It is obtained. This is how they created the dream world, which is the world of staged events and fake realities. In the book of formation, it was stated that God created the world by merging letters with numbers. God didn't create letters, humans did. However, numbers, which originated through fingers and toes, were molded in the mother's sacred womb. Thus, the mother is the creator of numbers. Sefer Yetzirah is the title of the earliest extant book on Jewish esotericisms, although some early commentators treated it as a thesis on mathematical and linguistic theory as opposed to Cabal. Yetzirah is more literally translated as formation. In the book Morals and Dogma, Albert Pike, the author, stated that Masonry owes all its thanks to Jewish Kabbalah. Albert Pike is the godfather of Masonry. Every Grand Commander steps down at age 81 because Albert died at age 81. The Jewish Kabbalah, numeral esotericisms were stolen by the ancient Jews, whom were Greeks, when they lived in Babylon. The codes came from Babylonian magnum opus, The word Babylon is Greek mispronunciation of Babel, representing the Greek rendition of Akkadian Bab-El, the entrance of the gods. From Bab, gate, entrance, plus El, plural, of Ilu, god. Igbo from Kwa civilization family of Africa was both the mother of Canaanite and of Akkadian and Sumerians and Hebrew, all of which belong to the Semitic family of languages. And that Canaanite, a possible child of Igbo, is the mother of both Akkadian, Sumerian, and Hebrew languages. In the Igbo language, Babel breaks down into 3 syllables, which are Babel. In the Igbo shamanic culture, the oldest Igbo god is called Ele, which means eternity, infinitum, the watcher. We have a place called Uguele, Mount El, one of the oldest named mounts in the world, was found in Igbo land. Truly, the definition of Babel, entrance to the gate of God, matches with the Igbo definition of Babel, entrance to the home of the infinite God. Igbo language, Ba, entrance, Be, home, Ele, the infinite God. This unveils that the numeral esotericism in the Jewish Kabbalah was taught by Ndushi Igbo African dwarf gods, whom also were Cushites, the ancestors of the Kemites. Today, the Western capitalist criminals use the numeral esotericism to govern the mental state of the masses by merging letters with numbers. Govern equals control, ment equals the mind. Numbers originated through the counting of the fingers and toes. There are 2 parts of numeral esotericisms, one that is organic and one that is being manipulated by the capitalist criminals. For example, it is organic that we have 10 fingers. In Alpha Igbo, the sacred number of Chukwu, Ele, is 10. A human being is made up of Eke, 1, Orie, 2, Afo, 3, Nkwo, 4. Thus, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. In Alpha, Igbo sacred astronomy, Ele has a female counterpart known as Allah, the Earth Mother, and many times they were manifested as one. Sometimes the Earth Mother is called the androgynous Ele, as in Eleyana Nwaya Wofuogodo. That is, both the Igbo Earth Mother and Ele are wearing the same body. Ele is her son, sort of like Uma and Shiva, which derives from Omanachi, Chineke, Elenala, Nechukwu na Chukwu, Enunana, Elunala, that came together as a combination of electro and magnetic to form a human being or all living species. All living species are made up of Eke, Oria, Afonkwo, the 4 elements, the 4 sacred elements, which give us 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. The number of human fingers. This is organic, meaning that numerals are from nature. The one that is being manipulated by the capitalist criminals is the merging of letters with numerals. There are 206 bones in the human body. The New Testament has 260 chapters. The English letters are 26 in numbers, and the word God equals 26. For example, the capitalist criminals that are governing your ment believes that it is divine to fly 2 planes into twin towers on 9/11, 9 representing the spiral, rebuilding, rebirth, recycle, and 11 representing the twin tower or Idenabo, 2 pillars, Are you following? Patterns and symbolisms exist all around you, but in order for you to see them, you have to practice, as practice is the key of all mastery. And I'm going to give you guys some examples of how they do this. I'm going to use the Bible, for example, on how they use number mysticisms to govern the minds of the masses. I'm going to use the book of Genesis. The first 3 words in the book of lies, which is the Bible, is in the beginning. That is the first 3 words. The first 3 words in the Bible is called in the beginning, and the last word in the Bible is Amen. In the beginning equals 137. Amen equals 33. The prime number of 137 is 33. The book of lies says that Ishmael, Levi, and Amram all lived to be 137 years old. The 3 appearances make it the most common lifespan of individuals in the Abrahamic books. Abraham was 37 years old when his wife Sarah died. Sarah died when she heard that Isaac had almost been sacrificed. Thus, Abraham was 137 years old at the binding of Isaac. The term mind control equals 137. The word authority equals 137. Albert Pike, the founding father of Freemason, the book that he wrote, titled Morals and Dogma, is considered to be the book that enlightened Freemasonry. Enlightened and civilized Freemasonry. Because of this book, Albert was honored greatly. He died at age 81, and every Grand Commander steps down at age 81. Morals and Dogma equals 137. The Dead Sea Scrolls are ancient Jewish religious manuscript found in the Qumran cave in the Judean desert near Ain Feshka on the north shore of the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea Scroll equals 137. The chapter of how the Abrahamic God created the world was written in Genesis 1:137 and 36. In the beginning equals 137, which holds the prime of 33. 137 is a magic number to the architects of the Abrahamism. 137 is a magic number to the architects of Abrahamism. Based on how they created the books through astrotheology and geometry, 37 is the reflection of 73. 37 holds a prime of 12. 37 is the 12th prime number. 137 holds the 33rd prime number. In the New Testament, the book of lies said that their God, Jesus, had 12 disciples, died at age 33 in 33 AD. 1 plus 3 plus 7 equals 11. So, as you can see, these books were all created perfectly with number mysticisms. The rabbis will tell you that the Torah is filled with numbers, that the Torahs are all strings of numbers. Strings of numbers. This is how these criminals against nature has been hijacking realistic consciousness every single day up to this present moment. What is going on in the world right now? Coronavirus and martial law. The first confirmed coronavirus case was reported in November 7. And the date Numerology of this day also unveiled that this virus was created in a lab and was perfectly kicked off at a specific location for a specific reason. This is a biological warfare between world leaders, these Ogazi leaders. Our leaders of today are from Ogazi. This Cabal that I have always been exposing, they came from Ogazi. This Cabal that I always decode their deeds, they all work with the same stolen Babylonian codes. It never changes. November 17 is 117, which is basically 11/7 or 7/11. This code is linked to 119 or 9/11. September is the ninth month, but the word sept derives from Latin. The word sept derives from Latin, and in Latin, sept means seven. If you all remember my 7/11 teachings, you will know what I am talking about. The date numerology for the first confirmed case of coronavirus is 6/7. That is 11 plus 17 plus 20 plus 19 equals 6/7. The location for the first confirmed case is Wuhan, and the name Wuhan equals 6/7. The second major location after Wuhan was Italy, and the name Italy equals 6/7. There are 6 white lines and 7 red lines in the US flag, very important, and there are 50 stars inside the flag. 50 plus 6 plus 7 equals 63, reflection of 36, which is 666. The capital of Nigeria also went on lockdown. The name Nigeria was 63, reflection of 36, which is 666 as well. And Nigeria has 36 states, that is 666. Are you following? Nigeria is also known as the country that fought a civil war in 1967. 67. The term blood sacrifice and human sacrifice all rounds up to 6/7 in gematria as well, in full reduction of numbers. 11/7 is a code that the Cabal used to create the SEPT 11 attack, because SEPT means 7. If you write out 6/7 in letters, you will get 117. 6/7 equals 117. This is the major code. Market crash, 117. The market of the world has crashed. Saturnian, 117. Who is Saturn? Saturn is Chronos, equals crown, equals corona. Saturn is the god of time, and the Igbo word for telling time system is elekere, literal meaning ele created this specific time. Elekere, elekere, elekere is ele created. Time is called watch, and the word watch is ele in Igbo as well. Ele is the watcher of all. Ele is the looking eye. Ele is the eye of providence. Eze Anyofu, the one-eyed God. The eye in the Masonic compass, and it is the consciousness of this God that the capitalist criminals are hijacking and crediting to their capitalist God, Yahweh. All their work are based on astrotheology and numerology. A virus called Corona became popular during the constellation of Capricorn, which is December to January. Capricorn is the creator of the zodiac with a zoomorphic form of a sea goat. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Thus, Capricorn is Saturn with an earth element. The name Ele also means antelope in Igbo language, and antelopes are a group of species in the family of Caprinae animals, along with goats. Basically, an antelope is a wild goat with long horns. In the media, the coronavirus was being called a global pandemic. There's pan in the word pandemic. Pan is a Greek goat god associated with the constellation of Capricorn. English words like panic derives from Pan, and the god Pan is associated with Baphomet, which is a Western occultic deity worshipped by the elites and the mainstream media. From December to January, which is the constellation of Capricorn, the world was under panic mode. Then in March, the world began to experience martial law. The world was experiencing martial law in March, which is the quarantine project. The word March and martial all have their roots from Mars. Martial law is the laws of Mars. Mars, wars, military, country, capitalism. The word Mars, M-A-R-S, equals wars. W equals M. M equals W. Letter W is the upside down letter M. Mars equals wars, and ARS equals Aries, equals the Martian zodiac sign. The sacred number of Ikenga is 3. March is the 3rd month, and the world went into martial law in March. Shakespeare, father of English, once quoted that the world is a stage and humans are all actors. Through ultra mind control, which is MK Ultra, this quote is manifested by the magicians of the dream world every day. The general masses do not know that they are all willful actors. The magicians are the directors, and a Masonic Grand Commander is the producer, and the producer gets direct order from the invisible governments. This is the way they run the world. It's all a big joke. It's all a big, massive staged event. Big, massive, fake reality. Because they are hijacking consciousness. They are hijacking consciousness. They are hijacking reality and creating artificial intelligence out of realistic events. They're killing people. Ritual sacrifice, blood sacrifice 6-7, human sacrifice 6-7, Wuhan 6-7, Italy 6-7. The date numerology when coronavirus started 6-7. From pandemic to martial law. It's all astrological. They were all architected, and they were all being played out in the minds of the masses.